Are we there yet? Are we done? I just want to be done. Oh man, I don't know if you ever feel like this. You've probably felt like that a little bit in this program as you've been hustling towards your #1 goal. I gotta admit, I've been feeling like that too. Like, how many videos can I do? How many outfits can I change into? Hopefully I haven't had too many duplicates, but you know what? We can just get lost in the weeds that it gets so hard to do what we want to do for day 38, persistence. It's Janae here, Sprinters, to brighten, enlighten, and ignite your day and to get you motivated to keep persisting and to stop resisting the temptation that it's going to be easy, but to keep persisting and going at it. And you know, this was really, really hard for me to try to figure out who to focus on, because I really honestly think the people who are most motivated are those who just never give up. They won't stop. They can't stop. They pay the price. They're willing to do whatever it takes. These are the people that we hear about in every industry, in every way. And in fact, you know, you hear these success stories of these actors, top business people, whoever they are, and you think, oh yeah, they had it easy, they had the golden ticket. And you know what? The majority of them weren't handed the golden ticket. They had to work for it, just like you and I. And we have to keep showing up no matter what. And I gotta tell you, it's hard. I don't know about you, but man, sometimes I'm like, seriously, I'm spending hundreds of hours for one thing or one person. The first time when I was at a presentation and I said a prayer to God. I said, if you want me to keep working on this manuscript, my Love Affair with God manuscript, then, you know, show me that you want to by having somebody purchase it. So I had kind of a draft manuscript if somebody wanted to start the year with me, because it's a 12-year transformational personal experience. And I got just what I asked it, one person. I should have asked for more. And I sold it for $5. Yeah. So for $5, I then took all of my notes and I got it into draft form month after month after month. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, this is one person for $5. Is this worth it? And you know what? It is. If that's the dream that God's planted in your heart, then it is worth it. In fact, there's this great poem, I believe that's Mother Teresa wrote, called The Final Analysis. And the gist of it is that, you know, whatever you do and whatever you build, people can knock it down, not approve, but do it anyway, because in the final analysis, it's not between you and man, it's between you and God. And you know what? Some of our lives isn't meant to be successful. If you remember the motivational clip at the end where they talked about Mr. Holland's opus, you know, he wanted to be famous with his wonderful orchestra, right? But yeah, what was so touching is she said how we are your symphony. Look at all the lives that you've touched. And that's been my struggle, is trying to persist with my books. You know, I love books. And while I do have a couple books I published, I've always wanted to have one of those beautiful inspirational self-help books that you could actually go to store on the shelf and pick it up. And it's been a dream for years, and it's been a struggle, and it's been hard. It really has been. And then one way that's helped me persist in this area has been just the fact that truly my 3 best-selling books are my 3 boys, and that's where I need to put my time and effort and energy into. And Zig Ziglar said that you can get whatever you want as long as you help enough other people get what they want. And that's where I've just started to shift now and created an MBA program for My Book Achieve to help other people achieve their book dreams, and I'll come along with them. And if it's God's will and I keep persisting in whatever small way, then it'll happen. But it's not the overnight successes. And I think if you just look around the room and see whatever you see, every single thing that we have been blessed with, from electricity to, just really vacuums to, KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. They all have a story behind it, and the core root is persistence. And in fact, the TED Talk that I have linked down below that talks about this phenomenon of persistence called grit. It is what truly makes people successful. It's willing to get into the game, to give it what you got, to get dirty. And that's what makes people successful. It's not necessarily the smarts or whatever. It's who's willing to put in the most work and work the hardest to get what they want to achieve. And it's something that we can always work at and instill, no matter what the age. And I mentioned Kentucky Fried Chicken because I think that story is so inspiring, is that it was, just going to look here at my notes, almost broke and approaching age 70. Harlan could have walked away from his dreams. Instead, he hit the road, offering to share his pressure cooker techniques with other restaurant owners if they would agree to become his franchise. He sold only 5 in the first 2 years, but he stuck it out. 4 years later, Colonel Sanders had sold more than 600 Kentucky Fried Chicken franchises. And by the time he died at age 90 in 1980, it was a worldwide brand. Okay, so story after story from any industry, you can find the importance of persistence and grit. And I gotta just say, thank you for persisting with me. And first of all, for saying yes to show up and then continuing on with your sprint. And know that you are going to be impacting so many people's lives because you persisted, and the things that you are doing are going to help so many people. So I'm just really proud of you for holding on and hanging in there. So your one and done is, what do you need around your number one goal to keep persisting around? What is that thing that just maybe is getting you stuck? How do you need, we're in the final days of completion. What else do you need to do to keep persisting? Persist. Resist the temptation to stop and keep going and resisting. 2, good for you, is to think about what the Zig Ziglar said. What can you do to help others who want the same kind of thing? So what can you do to help others around your number one goal do that and give back? Because we talked about the power of leverage and relationships, and helping others get what they want just will naturally attract it and bring it to you. So maybe it's not persisting for you, but for others. And there's a book, it's a really good book called Sun Stands Still, about the power of prayer. And there's a quote in there that says, that really touched me, is sometimes God needs to do some divine downsizing. He needs to cut down our selfish dreams so that he can provide room for his greater dreams for our lives. So sometimes persisting might be taking that different track and helping others, or switching your track so that you can run on a greater track that God has for you. It might not be more famous or visible, but it might be more deep and meaningful. And then 3 is key. Again, be inspired by persistent people in your industry. I love hearing about other authors who have persisted in their careers. And so like Angie Andrews, her first book, The Traveler's Gift, that got everything going. I mean, he was rejected multiple times. Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield with their Chicken Soup for the Soul Guinness Book World Record series, same thing. And the story I want to share with you now comes from John Gordon's Energy Bus. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Fun story. This is the kids version, and I love to share that with the kids and my team and so forth. But he has many examples here, and he said, you know, it's truly grit that helped him get that first book published, The Energy Bus, and then he went on his own Energy Bus tour after, again, 30 plus some rejections. He toured around the country where times at his book signings and openings, there would be 5 people, 10 people, and, you know, tremendous effort going across the country, but staying at it. The Road Less Traveled, Scott Peck, same thing. He only got a $5,000 advance, And he continued to do thousands of interviews, which kept it be a bestseller for multiple years. All these stories come down to grit, getting real, intense tenacity. Just totally made that acronym up. Getting real, intense tenacity, going for it, persisting, showing up. So 3 is key. Be inspired by those who do it, and never, ever, ever give up. From my grit, persistent heart to yours, be love.